Welcome to Break the Board Sports. I'm your boy RJ Cash. Click that like, hit subscribe. It's here, the last day of the MLB regular season. Plenty of bets going on. Again, click that like, hit subscribe. Let's run down through Sunday's card. But before we do that, let's give a look at what the playoff picture looks like. So you got the Guardians and the Tigers battling it out. The funny thing is, these teams are going to meet in the first round of the playoffs. It's just a matter of who has home field and who's the division winner. Guardians, if they win, they're automatically clinched for the AL Central and will have home field in that first round. They own the tiebreaker over the Tigers. Yankees and Blue Jays hold the tiebreaker over the Yankees. Also, not only the AL East is up for grabs, the number one overall seed in the American League. So the winner of the Guardians, Tigers, and again, it's just a matter of who's seeded third, who's seeded sixth. What will await them will be the Seattle Mariners, the 2 seed. But the 1 seed, Blue Jays hold the tiebreaker over the Yankees, but one's going to get the AL East crown along with the 1 seed. The other one is going to play host to the Boston Red Sox. So it's kind of funny, that bottom half of the bracket for your American League's got all 3 American League East teams. Over in the National League, Brewers now clinch the 1 seed after the Phillies fall to the Twins today. Phillies missed a golden opportunity, but I still think they're in good shape. I just personally would like to see them avoid the Dodgers, but it is what it is. So the Brewers is the 1 seed. They'll get the winner of the Cubs-Padres. Cubs have home field advantage. That is locked. The Phillies are locked into the 2. The Dodgers are locked into the 3. Now, Reds-Mets, they're tied. And what a situation. Reds, if they win, they're in, or a Mets loss. They hold the tiebreaker over the Mets. Going to be extremely interesting to see how this thing comes down your last day of the regular season. The funny thing about this for the Cincinnati Reds is, quite frankly, they have not played well against the Milwaukee Brewers as history goes, but the past 2 games they've taken in this series really puts them in good shape. So let's start with the Reds and the Milwaukee Brewers. And again, we're on the overnight. You're going to get this show first thing in the morning to help you with your handicapping. Again, Break the Board Sports. We're here to help you become a better handicapper. Looking down through tomorrow's line, Brewers minus $1.46 with Freddie Peralta, arguably their best pitcher. Cincinnati Reds plus 124 on the comeback will throw Brady Singer. The over under 7.5, juice minus 115 to the under. Again, Reds have taken the first 2 games of this set. Brewers swept the last set. Brewers have a 6-4 advantage over the last 10 meetings between these 2 teams. Now, Freddie Peralta, again, arguably the Brewers' best pitcher, 2-3 with a 2.67 ERA. He's faced the Reds 1 time this year, back on June 3rd, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, but did strike out 9 in that outing. Again, for the Reds, plus 124 on the comeback. Brady Singer, 3-2 with a 3.41. He's had 2 starts against Milwaukee, 1 in June, 1 in April. He's given up 3 runs in both of those outings. Now, again, the Brewers obviously have the leg up on the Reds, but the Brewers have nothing to play for here. You're getting a Cincinnati Reds team that for them, if they win, they're in. And this is a team people have been high on all year long. I just think it's kind of set up for disaster. Again, the Brewers already have a break waiting on who wins this series. I actually would steer clear of the Reds. I kind of like the Brewers in this spot for tomorrow. Now, the rest of the National League, the other side of the race, the New York Mets and the Miami Marlins, very interesting here. Now, the line keeps popping up a little different everywhere, but right now, Mets laying $1.32 on the road, plus 112 on the comeback for the Miami Marlins. Your over-under sets 8. It's juice minus 122 to the over at FanDuel. Mets were able to get the 5-0 win. That breaks a 3-game losing streak to the Marlins. The Marlins have played them extremely, extremely tough. We've talked about that over the past couple of days, just how tough of a battle it's been for the New York Mets when they've had to face these Miami Marlins. The Marlins have just given them all kinds of fits, which is really interesting when you think about it, because the Marlins really haven't been that good over the past few years. So the fact they struggle with them is an issue. Mets, you can't feel comfortable with the pitcher. Southpaw Shamanea, 2-3 with a 7.71 ERA. you would think the Mets could find somebody to throw out there that's a little better. You would also think if they're throwing Manaea out there, it's got to be kind of a bullpen session, right? They're just going to throw anybody. They got to get in this thing. Edward Cabrera for the Marlins hasn't been much better over his last 5, 3-2 with a 6.2 ERA. His one start against the Mets back August 30th, just a couple of weeks ago, 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, only 4 strikeouts. Listen, it's really hard to back Manaea, but I think if you're going to make a play on Sunday, obviously the New York Mets, it would really, I don't say it shocked me. The Mets have been so erratic all year long, but a Mets loss, they're definitely out. A Reds loss and a Mets win, they're in. I feel like this is a short price, $1.32. I do feel like there's some good value there for you. Cleveland Indians, they'll host the Texas Rangers. Rangers are waiting on a pitcher. We're also waiting on a line in this game. Rangers have taken 4 straight from the Guardians. The one coming the last night against the Texas Rangers. Sorry, Guardians won tonight. That snapped a 4-game losing streak. Apologies there. For the Texas Rangers, again, don't know who they're going to throw out. Southpaw Logan Allen will get the call for the Guardians, 2-3 with a 5.28 ERA. He has one start back August 23rd against the Rangers and got lit up. It looked like he was pitching for the home run derby. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 9 runs, only 2 strikeouts. I'll be interested to see what the line is here for this one. Listen, if you get the Guardians $1.25 or cheaper, take a stab at it. If not, I would stay clear. I think that spells danger. Toronto Blue Jays, let's talk about this AL East. Or sorry, before we get there, Detroit Tigers. And so the Tigers, again, the tiebreaker goes to the Minnesota Twins. Now Boston's locked in, maybe resting some guys. Tigers have taken now 7 of the last 10, including 2-1 tonight. The Detroit Tigers are going to throw out Chris Paddock, 3-2 with a 6.38 ERA. His last 2 starts in August, 3 runs, 1 run. That's before he got lit up for 8. So that 8's kind of a blimp on the radar. He faced Boston back in May, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, only 2 strikeouts. So you would like a little better pitcher going in a must-win situation for the Tigers if they want to win the East, but not so here. So Tigers, again, I think you got to roll with them. If you can get them $1.35 or cheaper, anything over that, I think it's a stay away. You stay off the game. Just spells a lot of trouble. The other thing I would look for is a lot of these other games, Rockies, Giants, Royals, A's, Nats, White Sox. I think a lot of your team totals are really a great way to go here with some good value. The other big game on the board that means a lot is this game with the New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles. Now, Orioles are going to throw out Kyle Bradish. Luis Hill is going to get the call for the Yankees. Yankees laying $1.90 plus 160 on the comeback for the Baltimore Orioles. Now, the Yankees have taken 4 straight against the Orioles, including 6-1 tonight. And the Yankees 9-1 over their last 10. They've been red hot as a firecracker here. Bradish 3-2 with a 2.25 ERA. Had one start about a week ago against the Yankees, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 9 strikeouts. Despite that beautiful performance, they lost 7-1 against the Yankees. Luis Hill, 4-1 with a 2.89 ERA, has been rock solid. One small blimp on the radar back September 17th where he gave up 4 runs to the Twinkies. Other than that, Luis Hill has been just absolutely lights out for the New York Yankees. Now, only thing about it, I think the Orioles would love to play spoiler here. The other big matchup in the AL East, Toronto Blue Jays laying $1.90, comeback plus 160 on the Tampa Bay Rays. You're over under 7.5, juice minus 122 to the over. Ian Seymour gets the call for the Rays. 3-1 with a 1.21 ERA. Gosman 2-3 with a 1.77 ERA. That under 7.5, I would definitely look to. Now, listen, here's the thing about it, though. Don't forget this crazy, crazy stat because it's important, right? Even though Toronto got the win. Tampa Bay 1-5 straight up their last 6 on the road, but they're 11-5 their last 16 overall versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays 7-2 at home their last couple overall. Going back to the Orioles, 1-7 straight up their last 8 versus the New York Yankees. Again, Yankees are on an absolute heater. They've won 6 straight at home. I think if you're looking at here and just typing in some stuff into the calculator and playing around a little bit, Yankees Blue Jays parlay plus 129, right? I also can see if you want some value, taking the Rays plus $1.66. I know Toronto needs the game, but again, Tampa Bay historically has really outplayed them. I could see taking the Brewers. Again, I just don't think the Reds can get this thing done. If you took a little Yankees Brewers action, get you about plus 157. Again, the Mets laying at $1.32. I think that's really going to be the way to land. I just hate that it's Sean Manaea, but the Mets, I think, are the best play on the board as far as these playoff games. Now, that being said, we don't know the Tigers line. We don't know the Indians line, but I think, again, looking at, they're going to go to the bullpen quick. That could spell trouble for the Mets. Reds, they've just went through these inconsistencies hitting the baseball. Yankees and Blue Jays, I would like the Blue Jays if they played anybody other than the Rays. But again, I can't hate you for a Rays-Yankees parlay. Maybe you look for an NFL team you like to pair them in a 2-team money line parlay. Again, click that like, hit subscribe, breaktheboardsports.com. Go to our notes blog section. Check out those free notes for the football. Again, I'm your host, RJ Cash. Check out all of our shorts, 2, 3, sometimes 4 a day, generated to help you become a better handicapper, give you insight analysis. Break the Board Sports. Click that like and subscribe. God bless. Happy handicapping.